Hello everyone, my name is Miss Rachel and welcome to another edition of the Teen Corner. So the books that I have chosen today are in celebration of Transgender Awareness Week that actually takes place in November. The books we'll be talking about today are Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, and the other book I will be highlighting is called Stay Gold by Tobly McSmith. So, the first book, Cemetery Boys, this is the story of Yadriel. He is a 16-year-old transgender boy who is determined to prove his gender to his traditional Latin family by summoning a ghost. Now, this book wastes absolutely no time getting to the plot as we join Yadriel and his best friend Maritza in the cemetery. And all Yadriel wants is to be accepted as what they call a real brujo. However, the community refuses to break with tradition to let him stand before Lady Death in the cemetery church to receive his powers. Now, determined to prove them wrong, he goes before her anyways, along with his best friend, performs this ritual, and to his surprise, he is actually granted the power of the brujo, which is the power to find lost spirits and help them pass on to the afterlife. Now, when Yadriel's cousin Miguel is found dead, Yadriel is on a mission to summon his ghost and set it free so he can pass on into the afterlife. However, he ends up summoning the ghost of another boy named Julian Diaz, who happens to be the school's resident bad boy, who has absolutely no desire to pass on into the afterlife. And the more time that Yadriel spends with Julian, the more time Yadriel realizes that he doesn't want Julian to leave. So the story continues, and if you're interested in a good, fast-paced, supernatural ghost story with a dash of romance and adventure, then I highly recommend you read Cemetery Boys. And now, on to our next book. The second book that I am highlighting is called Stay Gold by Tobly McSmith, who delivers a coming-of-age teen love story about a transgender boy who's going stealth at his new Texas high school, kind of trying to remain low-key and trying not to really be noticed and stand out. And it's about him and a cisgender girl who is drawn to him even as she's counting down the days until graduation. Now, in the beginning, we are introduced to the main character. His name is Pony, who is a transgender boy, as I mentioned, and as he begins his first day as a high school senior at a new school in Texas. Now, his only desire is for a fresh start at a new school where they don't know his secret, and his only goal is to fly under the radar while still trying to live his best life. But as we all know, nothing in life ever goes as planned, particularly when you lock eyes with one of the school's prettiest and most popular high school cheerleaders, Georgia, on your very first day at a new school. So the story continues as the two main characters explore love and discover what it means to find yourself and live your authentic and true life. One thing I will point out is how the narrative is written. I actually really liked it. It's written almost as if you're reading a movie script. You're kind of bouncing between character dialogue, times and places, but not at all in a confusing way, because it's made very apparent who's speaking. It's an interesting read, and I really like the fact that we get to follow the journey of Pony as he navigates the ins and outs of life as a transgender teen at a new high school. Both of the books that I highlighted today, both Stay Gold and Cemetery Boys, are told in the author's own voice and from personal experience. And the author of Cemetery Boys, Aiden Thomas, is a self-described transgender Latinx advocate for diverse representation in literature and all forms of media, and kind of describes his book as a Dia de Muertos paranormal romance. And Tobly McSmith is a proud transgender man who was born in Texas and now lives in New York. And as always, if you are interested in either of these books, please feel free to give us a call at Morley Library and we will be happy to get them for you. So thank you again for watching and happy reading!